Welcome. This is Joshua Benoist in Autodesk Product Support. So this video 1 is going to be part of a series of videos where we're going to discuss a pretty common question. When you receive a architectural project file, what do you do from there? What is the workflow you need to go through to link in this architectural file into your MEP project, and then what do you have to go through to get all the views set up, the levels, everything else? What do you have to think about there? So let's start off at the very beginning. So I've got a file folder here. I've received this architectural file from a friend, and from a so let's say in your case from a consultant, and it's an external party. It's not an internal architect. You don't know what their standards are. You've received this file and you're working on this project. So the first step we need to do is actually something with the architect's file, even before we even create an MEP project file. So these architectural files, more than likely, they have a central file on their server or workstation out there, and they've merely copied this file. They've maybe even zipped it up, and they've emailed it or FTP'd the file over to you, and so what you have is not a central file. You have a local version. So you've put this local version on your machine. If you were to go and open this file up, you would get an error message that says, "Sorry, you don't have permission to edit these elements." I'm sure we've all seen that error message. So you might need to fix the file links. So let's say the architect's file here came with a bunch of linked files, structural, maybe some CAD DWG files, and you need to fix those links. Well, if you go in and try to fix them, you'll get that error message saying, "Sorry, you don't have permission to edit these elements." Well, you really kind of need to, in order to get this file updated and then linked into your file, your MEP project file. So how do you get control over it? What we need to do is start with RevitMEP, say open, and then select on your file. I always do audit. It's a good thing to do. Keeps your file clean, and you're going to detach from central. Say open, and I'm going to pause the video while this opens to save time. So I'm getting this message here. This is a one-time upgrade process only. If you get this message, then you need to start asking your architect some questions. What previous version are they using? If they're using Revit Architecture 2009, you really need to be on the same version as them, because they're going to want to link in your files too at some point, and they won't be able to because you're running on 2010, for instance. So kind of the rule of thumb, always stay on the same version as your architect, and communicate with the entire team. Make sure everyone is on the same service packs, the same updates, the same version. So for our purposes here today, I'm just going to go ahead and let this upgrade and continue with our demonstration. I can see I'm running out of time on my video, so we'll continue on video 2. And before we continue to video 2, one other point. So even if there's no risk of them ever linking in your file, you need to ask yourself, do you really want to go through this upgrade process every time